Welcome back, everyone. Your loyal Captain Gamer 100 has returned yet again for another video for you guys today. And today's video, we are continuing upon solo leveling Deku. I know we're just getting these parts out back to back. And it's like, what, 5 in the freaking morning that I'm recording this right now. You can tell because my voice can just go really goddamn deep if I really wanted it to. I sound like Corpse Husband with some shit like this. But anyway, we're just here to continue upon solo leveling. Last time we left off on Deku getting some new Shadow Soldiers. We're going to do that again, but the last video, somebody requested that Deku go to a specific universe, and I just said, all right, well, we can do that then. So before the sports festival and hero stuff and all that, more Shadow Soldiers coming your way. And there were some things I forgot to mention in my last part. So with that being said, let's just start the dang video right now. So, last we left off, Deku had gotten, well, the Doomslayer and a whole bunch of other demons, like the Hellspawn from the Spawn universe, and the Ghost Rider from, from the Marvel and DC and all that crap. Sorry. So, Deku's pretty broken after taking over Hell, and also Essel has been added to the harem as well. But, why should I stop at Essel? Good reason. I shouldn't. Because we got a lot more girls to goddamn go, and a lot more power systems to continue on. Oh, also with the Doomslayer, I'd actually forgotten to mention, I'm giving Doomslayer all his weapons from every continuity that he has. So that means Doom 2016, Doom Eternal, Doom the Dark Ages, and even the earlier games from like all the way back then. He has all of those weapons, every single one. Don't leave out any of them. Even like the DLC and like the flamethrower. The box, the Chaos Buster, wait, did I even say that right? Probably not, but the Annihilator, everything. So, absolutely everything. There's nothing that's being left out. Doomslayer has absolutely all of his weapons from every continuity. In, like, every single one of the games. Like, the Plasma Cannon, the Ricochet, whatever the shot, but you get the point. But that's not all. Since I watched the recent death battle with Doomslayer and Master Chief, I thought, you know what? Why not give it a combination? So, the Doomslayer not only has his weapons, but he also has... Oh yeah, and when I mean every weapon, I mean every weapon. That includes, like, the giant mech that he has in Doom the Dark Ages, and the dragon. So Deku can also summon the dragon to ride it if he needs to. But like I said before, since that also in the Master Chief versus Doomslayer, I'm giving the Doomslayer access to Halo weapons as well. And that means every single power-up. Yeah, I know this makes like the Doomslayer even more busted considering that the variety of weapons in Halo are just absolutely insane. But you guys gotta realize something. I don't really care. Yeah, and I mean every single weapon from Halo as well. Even their continuities. I just made the Doomslayer more broken. But at the same time, I really don't care because I can just do whatever. Oh, bruh. I should probably stop myself, but I'm not going to. Yeah, that includes the energy shield that he could freaking do as well. Yep. Making him even more... I already gave Deku access to this as a Shadow Soldier anyway. So yeah, this Icon of Sin. So yeah, that just makes the Doomslayer even more broken than he already was before. But hey, I ain't done yet. Nah, guys, we're far from done. Because before the sports festival even start... Deku's gonna have a whole lot more Shadow Soldiers to make it even more broken. So, with that being said, let's continue the story for just a little bit longer. From the My Hero Academia story, because we're still in the very beginning, and I've already made him this broken. So, we're already back in Shiketsu after like the 2 weeks of the break from, being attacked by villains from, with UA and everything. Keep in mind, like I said, Bakugo didn't recognize Deku in the last part because he has, because he all around changed. Deku used to be like, what, 5'5", like, wait, no. Because I made this like an older AU, he used to be like, what, 6 feet tall. Bakugo was like 6'2", like 2 inches over him. But now Deku's like 8'4", so he's like 2 feet. 2 feet 4 inches like taller, and his hair also changed. It changed to white hair with green tips, so he looks like a mint, basically, with green eyes. So Bakugo honestly doesn't recognize Deku yet. He will after like his name is called out in the sports festival, because I decided to get this interaction out quicker. But no dramatic stuff is gonna happen. Well, no fight's gonna happen. So drama will still be happening, but not right now. So anyway, Deku and his classmates are all back in Shiketsu, and guys, I strongly recommend you go watch part 3 to see his classmate and skip to the end to see his classmates. Of course, I'll show them again, but just know they're extremely overpowered with what I've got in mind here. Anyway, all right, let's go. So since we don't know like Shiketsu's like homeroom teacher, I'm just going to make it Miss Joke. I know Miss Joke is the teacher for like Shindo's class and all that, but I honestly don't care too much. Plus, I think I put Shindo in this class. Hold on, wait, let me check to see. One sec, guys. Okay, it turns out I didn't, but that's fine. I don't really care about that. So after everyone is back from the sports festival, wait, did I? Okay, now I'm gonna actually take my time with this story. Since Miss Joke and everyone are back, Ms. Joke says that everyone needs to vote for their class president. And honestly, it's this, I'm gonna say, the visage of Superman in this one, Clark Kent, the Superman in this AU that I've gotten, would suggest the same thing that Ida did, and he would suggest that it comes down to a vote. Ms. Joke says on the method they come up with doesn't matter. So, but then somebody else brings it up. And, I got it. Hold on. Beast Boy would actually bring up the fact that wouldn't everybody just vote for themselves? So, okay, it would all come down to this. Ms. Joke would say, how about this? No one is allowed to vote for themselves. You have to vote for another person. And everyone would be kind of bummed at that, but it all is in fair game to see who would actually have a fair chance. Because since you can't vote for yourself, you just simply gotta vote for another person. Deku honestly doesn't want to. Okay, so everyone's giving out the reasons why they should be class rep. Okay, wait, I got it. This is a little skit thing that I'm gonna do. So Miss Joke gives everyone a fair chance to come up and tell the class why they should be class rep. And everyone goes up and gives their speeches and whatnot. But when it's Deku's turn, they ask like, why isn't he going up? And Deku just says, I don't want to be class rep. So anybody's free to. So whoever wants it. So whoever wants it the most is free to have my vote. And some people would be asking for Deku's vote because he just outright said he doesn't want to be class rep. So he doesn't really care about that stuff. And automatically, I'm gonna say, okay, I got it. Yanasa. Wait, did I say that right? Inasa. Yeah, it's either Inasa or Yanasa. The wind dude. Okay, yeah. I think it's Yanasa. The wind guy. But you guys know what I'm talking about. He would ask for Deku's vote since he's Deku's best friend in this one, and Deku would nod his head. Of course, I'd vote for you. So Deku would vote for. I think his name is Inasa. Yeah, I'm going to say Inasa. Deku would vote for Inasa, and while everyone else would quickly cast their votes, Miss Joke would read out who is the class rep. And it would be Deku for this one. Deku would be confused as he stood up and said, like, why? He didn't even want to be class rep. It was just a waste. And Superman, Kami, the hair guy, and even Inasa would say that's exactly why you should be class rep, because he didn't even want to be. Like, Deku doesn't have a desire or anything to be class rep, which is exactly why he's perfect for the role. And because of Inasa having another vote within Deku, I'm going to say he's the deputy. So he steps in line if Deku can't actually do it. So that's actually pretty cool. So Deku and Inasa are Deku's class rep, and the vice rep is, Inasa. Yep. So with that being said, it's a pretty cool thing. So now Deku would have to be the one representing the class and, well, keeping the class in shape and everything. Oh my god, hold on. My voice just went messed up for a second. Okay, there we go. All right. I'm fine about that. Sorry about that, y'all. I just sounded really, really off. But anyway, continuing on with the story. Where we have to go now is Ms. Joke now tells the class that the sports festival is coming up very soon. and it'll be next month because, okay, I know in the original story it took like about a week or so from then the train, but since the villains were attacking, and since this is going to be, but hold on, Miss Joke has something to say. It's going to be 1 month from now, and they get this month off because, like I said, this is a college AU. They're adults. They can get more leeway than they would with actual kids. And the reason why it's taking so long is because it's going to be a competition, a joint competition between UA and Shiketsu. Wow. Okay. Fireball. Anyway, so everyone's surprised that they're going to be competing with UA. And Deku immediately having a vendetta against Bakugo, so that being UA in general, like meeting the other classes of UA wasn't that bad. It's just Bakugo. So Deku orders that the entire class trains extremely hard for this past month, for no one to slack off. He doesn't mean that they do light training and call it a day. No, he means that they do heavy training on their body, on their mind, body, and quirks and soul. Train absolutely every aspect a part of yourself. Deku's even shown them his hero notes that he's been taking on them about their quirks that he's known so far, and he even shows them their weaknesses that he's outright seen. Sorry about that, y'all. So Deku pretty much gives everyone Deku's actually, since he's so intelligent and within his stats and everything, he's pretty much written down, has one book for every member of his class. Sorry about that, y'all. Okay, there we go. I probably should have drank a cup of water before doing this. Okay, so what happens at that point is that Deku, he has one notebook for each of his class members. So that's one book for 19 members. And just to make sure that they read up on it, he passes each and every one of them a notebook that pretty much glazes over their strengths and weaknesses that they can easily work on and easily improve. And it pretty much tells them how to improve their quirks if they just do a specific action. And all of his classmates are crazily impressed by his work, by like his analyzation, because not many people can figure this much out about them unless he was really paying attention. And Deku says he's a really good analyst. So they have 1 month, and that means they have 1 month to improve upon their strengths and weaknesses. Use this notebook and use his notes to improve themselves, because they're going to be showing themselves to actual pros. So this means that they cannot slack off by any means necessary. And the class stands up and they salute themselves to Deku while also bowing, like, yes, class rep. Even Inasa does the saluting and bowing by banging his head against the floor and Deku having to heal his forehead. So that's a straight thing. But everyone, sorry about that, guys. Okay, anyway. But before the class ends, one person wants to know. Inasa asks, what is Izuku's quirk specifically? Because it seems to be able to do an all-around variety of things, but at the same time, oh my god, at the same time, he can just do stuff that no one else can do. So the whole class, even Miss Joke, is waiting to hear Deku's answer. And Deku would get all super... Oh, hold on a sec, guys. Give me a sec to think for a minute. Alright, guys, I'm back. So now I can set the scene for you. So Deku's face would become instantly, like, straight dead serious before telling them that whatever he's about to tell them cannot leave this room, cannot be said to anyone else. And Deku would say the principal of UA already knows, and only trust if that the principal of UA already the principal of Shiketsu, I said UA, not he isn't even in UA in this AU. The principal of Shiketsu already knows this, so they don't have to worry about that. But still, since he's trusting them with this secret, that means this cannot leave this room no matter what happens. As they all nod, and Deku pretty much silences the room that way, and he makes sure no one from the outside can hear this, no matter what happens, as he puts silencers in like a dome around the entire classroom. As Deku pretty much explains his quirk in detail, it pretty much works like an RPG game type, like where he can level himself up and gain actual real life stats to input into his onto his status, as Deku reveals the system to them and reveals his stats. And I'm gonna be honest with you, since Deku is so broken and he has angels literal by his side, it's a literal infinite sign by every goddamn stat. So strength an infinite sign, speed an infinite sign. So it doesn't really goddamn matter. Intelligence infinite. So as Deku reveals this, everyone is like obviously impressed with this, even Miss Joke. But wait, that doesn't explain how he has such an array of powers. And Deku is pretty much explains how that's work. Pretty much, he explains how his dungeons work for them, and by literally wanting to go to a high-ranking dungeon, basically a key pops into his hand, and Deku says he can enter a dungeon at will, where he has to defeat the monsters, and if he's lucky, he'll gain, after each and every dungeon, he'll gain a rune stone, which he shows to them. That pretty much is a new power, is a new superpower that he can gain. Deku would show them instantly, like, for instance, this one would be the Omega beams that Darkseid has from the DC universe. As Deku would crush the runestone in his hand, and pretty much he would show off the Omega beams, like the laser eyes. Everyone would be widely impressed that he can do stuff like that. But then Inasa would have a favor to ask, and Deku would say, "Here we go. Do you mind taking one of us? Do you mind if you can? Could you please take me into one of those dungeon raids?" Wait, what? Yeah, I mean, like you said, we need to train hard for the next month, and if we can defeat actual monsters and we have to use our quirks, and we can actually use our quirks without being in trouble for it, this is the perfect training that we can improve ourselves upon. And the whole class stands up like actual ready. But Miss Joke does have to note one thing. This means Deku can give people quirks if he really wants to. Deku says yes, he really could. That's why if this information ever got out, no doubt he would be a target for for number one, the Hero Association, because they would definitely want somebody like him, and number two, him and his family would be a target for villains, because they could outright threaten his family to give them for him to give them like quirks, and he doesn't want to do that. So Deku makes them swear to secrecy to the grave, to take this to the grave, that no one can ever know about this, like period, no matter what, under any circumstances. And they all do swear to secrecy. Because thankfully there's no Shiketsu traitor or anything, just a UA traitor. So Deku doesn't have to worry about his secret getting out to anyone. And since the principal of Shiketsu know about this, and Miss Joke knows about this, so they're going to do their best to actually protect Deku. But Deku says he honestly doesn't need it, because no one can pretty much touch him. But since Deku told them everything, they actually do want to see his shadow soldiers like in action and everything. Deku would pretty much say sure and everything. So at that point, Deku would just take them to an A rank dungeon, because he wants to see where their skills are and if they can actually handle it. Yes, an A rank may be a bit much for them, but hey, better to push them all at once. And hell, even Miss Joke takes a part in this. This is a class exercise, so they're going to be doing this for the past month. But still, though, Deku says he's only gonna be doing this like once a week. So this week they're gonna be doing training. The next week Deku's gonna be training himself, while the class has to focus by themselves. So it's gonna be a week on and week off for this, and they pretty much agree to this. So, but I'm gonna say Shiketsu is actually able to handle the A rank dungeon fairly well. So Deku just keeps them in like A rank dungeons and everything. Yes, they do actually see his shadow soldiers like, oof, and they tear through the goddamn A rank like it's no tomorrow. And Deku doesn't. And yes, Deku does get a few rune skills and everything, but he doesn't really find a need to like use these powers. He just keeps them in his inventory. So with that being said, it's just that. But anyway, now to continue on. So finally, for Deku's training, and for that one subscriber, John Quain. Sorry, man. I just can never get the name right. I wish I could. It's time for Deku to go to the universe you requested. So Deku's in his own like void now, training and whatnot. He knows like he doesn't even need to use any of his power to solo his entire mythos if he wanted to. But it's time to get more soldiers. Time for him to be on the grind this time. So when Deku wants to go to another universe, it's pretty simple where he goes. This one it's like another dark key that takes him to a random place. And honestly, where he ends up is actually surprising, because he ends up in this place. Well, in an open dungeon domain area, and his objective: defeat Anos Voldigode. And let me tell you guys right now, this is the one I'm using is the light novel Anos Voldigode. So their actual most powerful version of them. And I know you guys are expecting like a huge fight here, but keep in mind, Deku trained with Shaggy and he's been absorbing like a power from him as well. So this isn't really that much of a fight, but hey, I'll try to make it as interesting as possible for you. So Deku walks through the the dungeon and sees, and sees Anos sitting on his throne. And oh boy. Since this is a mythos, since this is like, Deku's mythos, I can do whatever I want with it. So why the heck not? And anyway, with this being said, Anos would look upon Deku and actually be interested. Huh. Well. Another multiversal being has walked into my domain. Tell me, who are you? As Deku would pretty much say, I'm Izuku Midoriya. And I've come here to defeat you, Anos Voldigode. And Anos stands up, actually smirking. Oh, really? You may not know how things work here, but here, I am... Oh, hold on. I got it. I am the symbol of dominance. I am the concept of dominance. As long as dominance reigns supreme, I always win. Deku smirks at that. Maybe. Yeah, maybe you once were. But when you deal with me, all concepts gets thrown out of the window, as I'm the one who's always in control. Well then, shall we begin? As Deku just cracks his knuckles. Yeah, we shall. So a fight pretty much ensues, and Anos pretty much is throwing absolutely everything he can at Deku, throwing his strongest multiversal attacks, his erasing of concepts of like anything in general, but even bringing out his like almighty sword that's supposed to bypass absolutely everything, but it just does not work on Deku because Deku is just I don't even know. Deku is a walking contradiction, calamity. Just a walking... Deku is a walking hymn. That's pretty much it. That's all you can describe it as. A walking hymn. And Anos is like completely like flabbergasted. He's in shock because this isn't supposed to happen. Anos is pretty much god of his own world, but yet here he is getting straight up humiliated. And Deku isn't even transformed. He's in his base form. Yeah, Deku no longer needs to transform. He can if he wants to give himself a boost, but it's pretty much not even needed. It's unnecessary. But I wish I could have given you guys a better fight. But honestly, when someone as strong as Deku comes into play, with the characters I made him fight with and train, when he has infinite everything, there isn't anything that could give him a challenge anymore. If his power literally just is boundless and infinite. But anyway, short answer of the stick, Anos ends up losing the fight, and Deku ends up arising him. So now Anos Voldigode is his shadow soldier. Yeah, Anos Voldigode ends up being Deku's shadow soldier, with the eyes and everything. So, yeah, Deku's even more broken. But since he has Anos, I can't complete the full set without, the next best thing. Deku, oh lord. As if his stats couldn't get already more infinite, might as well go to the next thing that people compare Anos Voldigode to. And that, my friends, is Rimuru Tempest. Yep, as if Anos Voldigode wasn't enough, we got Rimuru Tempest here now. So what you guys got to say about that? So, after literally beating Anos Voldigode within an inch, well, killing Anos Voldigode, and yes, I actually do mean killing the guys, because yes, he might be a good guy, but remember guys, this whole continuity, these dungeons are separate from their actual, timelines, from their actual canon storyline. So this Anos Voldigode from the light novel that I made is actually like a whole different Anos Voldigode. it's like the system's version of the actual canon one. So the real Anos Voldigo, like, in the canon story is not harmed. Just like this Rimuru here, who's a good guy, is not the actual Rimuru from that time I got reincarnated as a slime. The powers and everything is still the same, like the light novel canon one, but it's not the exact same one. It's not the one-to-one real life thing. It's just a separate, it's just its own separate thing that's just like the actual canon. There you go. Light novel Rimuru Tempest. And let me tell you now, this becomes a battle for the goddamn ages, because since Deku and Rimuru pretty much have the same exact powers, the systems and whatnot, being able to summon soldiers, this does become an all-out war, and it does become a dragged-out one. But because Deku has so many more broken characters on his side, he has those like Anos Voldigode, like himself. He brings out the Doomslayer that's supposed to like pretty much erase all the, like, defeat all the demons and everything. He brings out his Hellspawn, his Ghost Riders, his the 7 deadly sins and all that. Like, he even brings out the Scarlet King. So with all that being said, and yes, I know Rimuru is supposed to be transcended to all of that, but when you got so many like of these busted mythos busting characters on one side trying to take you down, you're eventually going to lose at one point. But this does become a battle for the ages, because this here is just straight up insane. I'm gonna tell you right now, Deku would say he actually had to go super for this one. So yes, Deku actually going into his Super Saiyan form and to actually beat Rimuru. And now Rimuru has been arisen. Yeah, Rimuru being a shadow was awesome. And like I said, this is light novel Rimuru as well. Arise, Rimuru. So yeah, this is pretty scary here. Rimuru having all of his abilities and powers. So this is actually pretty scary. But hey, whoops, my bad guys, don't pay attention to that. Sorry about that, let's continue. So Deku having these people already on being scary enough, Deku's not even close to done. And why should I say that? Because he's got a lot more busted characters to get onto it. So let's just move on with what we got next. And yeah, I'm gonna keep going because, hey, this is just purely for my entertainment and yours as well. Just gonna make him the most broken thing in Mythos history. So let's keep it going. As if he couldn't get more broken, now he's gonna fight Anju. But this isn't even a fight, guys. This is pretty much one-sided, because Anju can even take himself out if he's not careful. So yeah, defeated, Arise, and another Shadow Soldier. But I'm gonna get into the more mythos busting characters in a second, guys. But as for a fact, this is just becoming even more hilarious by the second. Now for the next character that Deku fights, and yes, guys, because of the 20th anniversary that came out a while ago, I decided to throw Kratos into the mix. So yeah, Deku also adds Kratos to his Shadow Soldiers. And oh boy, and this Kratos has everything. All his magic, all his weapons, absolutely everything from his entire Mythos and God of War. And that includes the axe and the Draupnir spear and, the new stuff that he has. And that also means Deku's Blades of Chaos have also finally been completed, because he's been using them for a while now and they've been upgrading. But finally, since they've been reunited with Kratos, since Deku has Kratos as a Shadow Soldier, Deku can use any version of the Blades of Chaos he wants. Oh yeah, just a quick reminder, since I gave Kratos everything, he also has his, God of War armor on specifically. I wanted to give him that because, honestly, that is fucking cool. I mean, you can't tell me this doesn't look awesome. Yeah, he may not want to wear it again, but since this is Deku's version of Kratos and Shadow Soldier, he can freaking do this. He can do this. And just a quick reminder, this is what Deku's Blades of Chaos looked like before. These were his own specific Blades of Chaos that were like mythical SSSSS plus rank. But now since they're reunited, since he has Kratos as a Shadow Soldier, he can use any of the blades that that Kratos has access to. Yes, and that includes like the Blades of Chaos, Blades of Athena, and Blades of Exile. Hold on a second. So yeah, the Blades of Chaos from any Mythos, Blades of Athena as well, and the Blades of Exile. So he can use all of those whenever he wants. And just like I said before, Kratos has access to everything, every single one of his weapons. And that includes like Zeus's gauntlets, every single bit of them, all of them. And should I keep Atreus on this team? You know what? Yeah, this Kratos even has his own version of Atreus. Like I said, separate from the Mythos, doesn't freaking matter, so Deku can do this. I mean, it looks pretty awesome, you can't lie. Also, this Kratos still has the power of hope as well. So, I mean, you guys could argue that hope had never left the original, mythos of Kratos, but at the end, I take it as he lost the power of hope when he gave it back to the world. So this version of Kratos that Deku has still has the power of hope, making him even more busted than he already is. So, yeah, even scarier. But since, like I said, the 20th anniversary and all that, like, you know what I'm about to do. Yeah, this version of Kratos. I actually like this a lot. I'm actually using this Kratos right now in my playthrough because this right here is fucking amazing. Absolutely just boss level types of goated. And you guys can't even lie about that. This is straight goated. Because this looks awesome. Alright, yeah, okay, I should stop now. But anyway, that version of Kratos. But since I've seen the death battle between Kratos and Asura, can't let these two wrathful gods go without each other. So, you guys already know. Gotta get the main man Asura up on this team because you already know why. And I know you guys might argue about, Asura and all that, but I really do love Asura. Asura's Wrath, I swear Asura's Wrath deserves a freaking revamp. It deserves a remake. Because this game was absolutely goated. It was absolutely goated, and you can't tell me it wasn't. So, I mean, let's not cut it here. I mean, Deku obviously beats Asura and, Arise, all that. So with the, oh my god, I think I'm making him too broken, but I still don't care. It's still not enough. And this is before the sports festival, I mind you. So Deku's just gaining more and more power. This is just insane. But nope, because there's a reason why I'm giving Deku so goddamn much here. Because against one enemy, he actually will have a very, very, very tough time against. Because it'll just be straight up annoying. But hey, we've already established that Deku is pretty much the comp Sun Wukong and pretty much absorbs Shaggy's power, so he's pretty much beyond anything at this point. Whatever meme that could come up nowadays, but I still want to make sure that he's ready for what's about to come. So next verse. Oh man, this is Saber Unsealed Saber Avalon here. Yeah, this is probably like going overboard, but like I said, this is a person that can arguably beat Rimuru Tempest and Ano's Voltigode. But since Deku has them along with any other continuity busters, it pretty much becomes irrelevant because Unsealed Saber Avalon has now been arisen as a Shadow Soldier, an unsealed light novel version. And I'm using their most powerful versions as well. So you probably would give him some trouble if he wasn't as busted as he was, but sadly, he's too busted. But hey, let's move on to the next verse, guys, because I'm just gonna keep it going. True Spirit Gilgamesh. Ooh-wee! From the Fate/Nazi verse, bro. Yeah, this is True Spirit Gilgamesh, by the way, and I think I've probably gone overboard with this, but at the same time, I don't necessarily care too much. Whoops, yeah, Unsealed Saber Avalon, I've already done that. And True Spirit Gilgamesh. Oh, man, y'all, this is so terrible. Because there's just no way. There's no way anyone's beating Deku in his mythos if he's this strong, and he could just do this with, like, barely 1% of his power. No. But, hey, Deku wins and Arise. So guys, tell me in the comments what do you think, because this is before the sports festival, by the way, and Deku can use these people whenever he wants to. This is just straight humiliating to know that there's nothing and even other continuities that could probably stop Deku. And this is before the sports festival, like in the span of a month. Because remember, Deku can just do this back to back to back to back. Because he can stop time in his outside world if he wants to, and just continuing to get stronger. So there really is nothing stopping this man from just stopping time for like what, 20 years or so maybe if he wants to, and just keep getting Shadow Soldiers back to back to back and come back as if nothing had ever really happened. So this man is really just that much more broken. But yeah, True Spirit Gilgamesh sadly gets taken down by Deku. Well, happy for me, he's sad for his mythos. And I know what you guys might say. This is a what if, guys. I can pretty much do whatever I want in my own fandom. So let's move on. Here we are with the next character, Void Shiki. There, guys, I'm probably doing too much. I'm not even saving these good animes for like the next continuity. There's a reason why I actually do want to continue with the solo leveling story as if regular. Which is why I'm just trying to get these busted ass characters just out of the way. But Void Shiki really, like, oh lord, can clap so many characters' cheeks it's not even funny. But hey man, oh whoops, sorry about that. Void Shiki is the next person to be defeated by Deku, but not turned into a shadow soldier. No, she also gets added to the harem. Why? Because I freaking said so. So it's kind of like one of the angel-like scenarios where like she's bound to Deku now. Oh boy. Yeah, Void Shiki's a part of the harem. She'll fight for Deku as well, but oh man, I'm adding too many girls to this harem, but at the same time, I don't really give a fuck. Deku is him. I can give him whatever I want. So, hey, Void Shiki. Next verse. Let's see what I come up with next. Yep. Feathering from Ubineko. Guys, I just don't care. I just honestly don't care. You guys shouldn't care either. And we know how strong she is, but she's extremely cocky. And let me tell you that. When one cocky person meets a boundless character that just can't be, defeat is just not in his mythos because the creator deems it so. Yeah, what are you gonna do? So Deku wins because I say so. And instead of killing her or anything, Featherine also joins the harem because why the fuck not? Deku can just do whatever the heck he wants at this point. No one can stop him. This man is just too busted for his own good. I mean, hey, if Featherine wants to be your girl, you can't. I mean, you ain't really got much to say about that because I bet you wouldn't. I bet you really wouldn't. Oh boy, there's probably something wrong with me. Mommy, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. I just had to do it one time. I had to do it for the one time. Okay. Oh man, there's definitely something going on with me, but hey, whatever. Let's just see what else I can come up with. Featherine has also joined the harem. So moving on. Next up, we got Rufus Muffle from A Wild Last Boss, and why am I even doing this, man? This shouldn't even be a conversation anymore. Because Deku's got the most busted characters in fiction, but I'm just doing this because, well, because I'm bored and the story needs content. And dude, everybody's favorite most broken anime character is getting defeated and just being a shadow soldier, or if they're female, they're just getting added to the harem because I say so. But yeah, Rufus Muffle sadly gets defeated by Deku and also added to the harem because I said so. Oh man. If this isn't broken enough already, I don't know what is. But hey, we got a few more characters left to go in different verses, so might as well. Then I can continue with the story in My Hero. Even though it's not going to be interesting, I'll still try to make it as interesting as possible. Now, this one, okay, this is my actual personal one of my favorite characters in game history and also, comic book history as well. So, hey, I'll play nice and I'll actually give you guys a fight for this character, even though it shouldn't even matter. Alright, like I promised to give you guys a fight for this one. So next, we're going to the, ultrasonic, or should I say, god dang, I forgot what it was called. I know it's ultrasonic, but I know it's called something else. It slipped my mind right when I was about to say it, y'all. It's just one of those moments. Archie Sonic, there we go, Archie Sonic. Ultrasonic or Archie Sonic. Ultrasonic from the Archie comics. And, well, I'm actually going to give you guys a fight here. Separate timeline, like I said beforehand, I'm done saying it now, so I get to actually make it as fight as I want here. So Deku pretty much appears in Green Hill Zone for the next thing here, because the system took him here, and while Deku's, okay, Uzaki and her family obviously aren't here, but it's the girls that Deku already has in his harem, like, why do I keep forgetting the names? Like, okay, Rufus Muffle, wow, I can't believe I forgot the names like that quickly. It just goes to show how much stuff slips my mind when I overwhelm it with too much stuff. I hate myself sometimes, guys. I really do. Void Shiki, and of course Essel, and some others and probably others that I'm forgetting about right now. But give me a second. But anyway, Deku appears in Green Hill Zone, wondering why the system took him here, and pretty much. Nah. like what would happen here is that Deku sees a blue blur like pretty much going around everywhere, and he would see that it would be Sonic. But since Deku at this point knows that his like dungeons in the system takes him like separate alternate realities like that are perfect copies of the actual canon, but since Deku can improve on them more because they're tied to his power, this makes it even more fun for him. So pretty much he gets Sonic's attention, honestly. He doesn't outright want to harm Sonic because, hey, Sonic is one of my Sonic is like one of my top 3 favorite game characters. I'll tell you guys right now, you know what, screw it. From my childhood, Sonic is number 1. Sonic is number 1 from my top 3 top 3 childhood games because I love to play any type of Sonic game. I have Sonic Mania. But just like that, Deku outright like hangs out with Sonic for like a day. And Sonic is pretty much like wondering what's he doing here because none of his friends are around, like Tails and the others, because it's only just, you know, Archie Sonic. But Deku obviously tells Sonic what's going on, that he has to defeat him in a fight and everything. And Deku tells Sonic not to worry, they can go all out in this place because this is a whole different realm. So Sonic just agrees to it, and Deku it says he wants to see all of Sonic's power. Sonic says sure, but but Deku has to prove himself that he's worthy to see that power. So fight goes down, Chaos Spear, you know, Chaos Control, all of that goes down. Super Sonic and everything, you know, even Super Sonic 2 from the Sonic Frontier games. So we get all of that. Until Deku finally, Sonic decides to show off Ultra Sonic, and that's when Deku actually goes Super. And Sonic for the first time is actually excited because he didn't know he could go Super as well. And Deku eggs on Sonic to go Super while in his Archie form. Sonic just asks, is he sure about that? And Deku just nods his head. Well, alright, you asked for it. And Sonic can go Super while in his Ultra form. And I've looked it up, it says yes, Sonic can go Super in his Ultra form. So, Super Ultra Sonic, or just Super Archie Sonic. I like Super Archie better. Boop! So yeah, we got Super Archie Sonic now, and let me tell you, this fight is a very fun one for Deku because all the other anime characters he's fought, they've always been so serious, but Sonic in here can actually crack jokes and everything, and that genuinely having a good time. But like I said, this isn't the canon one-to-one Sonic. I mean, well, you know that we all know and love, so I pretty much have fun with whatever I want to do here. But still, this Sonic here. Because I mentioned this is a whole different Sonic, this Sonic has every single power system he's ever gained from every different continuity. Like Sonic and the Secret Rings, like Speed Break and Time Break, like his Void and everything. The Sonic from Sonic Colors, that way he can use like the other different colors for this. Sonic from the Night series, so he can use that. Excalibur, Sonic and the Secret Rings, so Sonic can use the Secret Rings in order to use their powers as well. So and even like Sonic the Werehog type of thing, where he can stretch his limbs. So every single power system he's ever gained, and I know that would make him even more broken, but hey. I know this would be a pretty, this is a really good and amazing fight, but Sonic does end up losing and Deku does end up arising Sonic. But, you know, you can't have Sonic without having Shadow. So, is there even an Archie Shadow? I think there is. But even if there isn't, I'm still giving it to him. Archie Sonic and Archie Shadow are now a part of his Shadow Soldiers. But instead of Sung Jin Woo, where they actually become shadows and lose color, for this verse, they don't lose color. They actually get to keep their regular colors. It's just for lower tier and weaker enemies that they actually do lose color and become shadow-like. But for more broken characters like I'm showing you now, they actually don't lose their color. So you have Archie Sonic, and also because I said so, we have an Archie Shadow. And because they're tied to Deku's power, Archie Sonic now can do something that everyone's been pining for in fiction as well, to see again. Also, Archie Shadow gets his own transformation, so let me show you. Oof! So yeah, we got Ultra Hypersonic, we got Archie Hypersonic, and we got Chaos Force Shadow. So yeah, outright. So you have an Ultra and an Archie Hyper form, which is supposed to be the strongest thing in fiction, and now we got Chaos Force Shadow, which is supposed to be Shadow's like ultimate form, like his. Instead of a hyper form, Shadow uses the direct energy of the Master Emerald. with said hyper form. But Sonic is still stronger because of that ultraness. So with that being said, oh yeah, this also means Deku gets access to the to the Master Emerald and the Chaos Emeralds, being able to transform them into Super Emeralds if he wants to. So I hope you guys know what that means as well. This adds onto Deku's already Super Saiyan form, giving him complete invulnerability like Sonic's and Shadow's form. Also giving him a hyper form if he wants as well. Like, I have said animation for this. Well, obviously it's not mine. But I wonder if I can still use stuff like that. You know what? I think I can. Please don't copyright me. Please don't copyright me. Please don't copyright me. But anyway, I'll be able to show you guys like this animation right here. I just hope I don't get copyrighted for this crap. Alright guys, what I'm obviously about to show you is not mine. So hopefully I don't get copyrighted for this crap, but I probably will. But, oh boy, let's just show you and get this over with. Obviously no sound because I'm not trying to get in trouble for this. So yeah, Deku can use the Chaos Emeralds and turn them into Super Emeralds with the Master Emerald to gain more power. So when it shows the credits at the end, obviously got to give respect. So this was a person who made this animation. Go subscribe to them on YouTube and everything. I just wanted to show it this thing real quick because obviously not mine and I don't want to get copyrighted. Please don't copyright me for that. All right, anyway, let's move on. So yeah, like I said, Archie Comics, Archie Sonic, and Archie Shadow with arguably the same amount of powers, but remember, Shadow still has those inhibitor rings, and if he takes them off, he can do more with the Master Emerald and the Chaos Emeralds that can turn into Super Emeralds at will, and also add on to Deku's more ever-growing power. That also means Deku can also use an Archie mode, in Ultra mode if he wants to. So pretty much the Archie body or the Ultra, the rings that surround with the stars. Hold on. So yeah, this yellow lightning-ish crap and the stars that surround Deku. Yeah, that's pretty much what that surrounds Sonic. I meant, yeah, that's pretty much what Deku has now. Deku can also activate this whenever he wants to. And like I said, Sonic has access to everything he's ever had in a mythos. So that means he can just transcend reality and everything, or just do whatever he wants. Teleport around, chaos control, chaos blast. So it's all around his own power. And Sonic had that ability, and so did Shadow. Wait, no. Yeah, Sonic had that ability, so did Shadow, and now Deku can do it too. Jesus Christ, I'm just making this way, way, way more broken than it needs to be. But don't worry guys, we're almost done. Oh yeah, that means Deku has all the God Killers now, because I gave him Kratos, I gave him the Doomslayer, I also gave him Asura, and he is like Comp Sun Wukong of all continuities and power systems from everything that we've ever created. So dang, Deku has the original God Killers on his side, with even more power to back it up. Oh damn. Oh well. Anyway, let's continue on. We're almost done with these anime characters. We'll come back because we got comic book characters to go through, but this is just to show you a bit more power. Anyway, let's keep it going. And of course, we got my main man Kumagawa up in here. It wouldn't be the most busted anime things without Kumagawa on here. So Deku now goes to Medaka Box, and oh man, this probably shouldn't even be a thing anymore. This probably shouldn't even matter. But yeah, Kumagawa. If you guys don't know, look up Medaka Box Kumagawa, and you guys will see his all fiction. His so when Deku gets here, there's like characters from Medaka Box waiting for him, because there's 3 characters that he needs to fight. 1 being Kumagawa himself. 2, I'm pretty sure you can pretty much guess, the main character of the Medaka Box, and the one who gave Kumagawa these powers as well. So anyway, Kumagawa is first, and at first he tries to. I mean, the fight isn't really that interesting because Kumagawa realizes that Deku is just walking too much of a walking everything. He's pretty much like, oh boy, he's pretty much like the one that gave him the powers. Gave him the powers of all fiction himself. So with all fiction, Kumagawa can just erase anything that he wants, and with his non-fiction, he can bring it right back, and with his screws, he can pretty much turn you into a normal person. But Deku is the type of person that doesn't have to follow any of that set rule set if he doesn't want to, because just like Kumagawa, he's also red every other anime and seen it, but he's also read every comic book and known about all fiction because of the Sun Wukong part of him. So Deku already knows absolutely everything about all mythos that there is to know. So there's no need for any of that stuff. So yeah, it's pretty terrible what ends up happening. So Deku ends up defeating Kumagawa and arising him. Now his all fiction, non-fiction, and his screws are, well, and his minus are all now his. Next character, because these next two are, I'm gonna probably stop at that point, because at that point there's really not much of a need anymore. Anyway, let's keep it going. And of course, you guys should already know Ajimu Najimi from also Madoka Box, the same girl who gave this guy, yes, this guy, his powers of all fiction. Ajimu Najimi, also from Madoka Box, same powers, but actually she has a quadrillion amount of powers. So yeah, oh lord. But, I mean, so it's pretty obvious. Deku can defeat her, but instead of, Shadow Soldier-like thing, nope, it's a harem situation. Deku defeated Kumagawa and stole his girl in the process. Now, that's what I call disrespectful. Also, there are no screws within her. Pause on that one. She's completely unsealed, and finally, we can end this anime stick off with Madoka herself. So, the main character of the series. Of course, I mean, is there really even a need to go on to who the character is? She's the main character of the verse anyway. Whoops. Yeah, I should probably... Yeah, that's probably the safest one I can do. But Deku ends up fighting her and defeats her, and she also joins the harem. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that, guys. And something had cut off on my camera. And now, oh my god, I gotta blend these two together, even though I really don't fucking want to. Anyway, like I said before, I'm gonna show Madoka's god forms now. So hold on a second. Yeah, like I said, god forms and everything, so let's keep it going. Even in their beaten down form and void body, like all god or whatever. So yeah, true god forms, no matter what happens. Yeah, god form. Nope. YouTube, this is what they look like in their own anime, so I cannot be taken down for this. So yeah, hybrid forms and whatnot. Just absolutely goated for this. So, oh, dang. Yeah, okay, so yeah, there is no stop. So pretty much, yes, that was it. Oh, dang, wait, do I gotta stop here? How much time am I on? Okay, I got, like, dang, very little time left. Oh well, I might as well keep going through with what I had planned. Oh, I almost forgot. Deku goes to, the Overlord anime as well, and he obviously defeats, the character that is in Overlord. This isn't even a fight, pretty much. This is, oh boy, pretty funny. Yeah, Ainzel going, he's getting packed up like an omelet. There really is no goddamn way to stop this guy. There's no way for that Deku doesn't stomp Ainzel going into the ground. And I know what you guys might be saying. Wait, should he get Albedo? Nah, I don't really think so. But arise to Ainzel going. Now he has all his powers and his buffs. Sorry about that, y'all. I thought it was meant to end it after Ainzel going, but then I realized there was one more character I forgot. And if you guys don't know who this is, you guys just don't know anime. Call me a weeb if you want, but I really don't care. This is Akuto Sai. And if you don't know who Akuto Sai is, look him up. Go look up Akuto Sai right now and just read about his mythos, then you would know. Then you would understand. This is Deku's final test. This is the final fight that he's going to have before he gets to move on with his mythos now. So, Deku enters a realm full of nothing but void. And yes, I mean absolute nothingness. And there is him, Akuto Sai, waiting for him. But no, Akuto Sai is going to go all out from the beginning. So he's going to use his void body. So yes, Akuto Sai is going to use absolutely everything he's got. And as for Deku, he's not even going to use his shadow soldiers. He's just going to be himself for this one round going forward. And I know what you guys might be thinking. Akuto Sai pretty much slams every anime there is in existence. But since Deku knows about Akuto Sai's anime himself, this is absolutely going to be insane. So Deku, for the first time ever, since this realm can actually handle it, he actually goes all out, cycling through his forms. Super Saiyan all the way up to like the great sage god that I've shown you guys last time. And finally, achieving an all new form. I took this from the anime war type thing. So what I'm about to show you now is definitely not mine. Deku goes Omni God Super Saiyan. What that is this. Yeah, Omni God Super Saiyan over here. He showcases this, but remember, Deku still doesn't use his full power yet. But until he finally does, because it's a Akuto Sai, so why the heck not? Deku shows this all-out power. Oh no. And let me tell you now, it's completely different from what you guys are about to see. Obviously, the art I'm using is not mine, so don't quote me on this. This is none of my work. Anyway, moving on. Obviously, not my work, so this is from Frankie Demand over here. So anyway, if you guys look over, Super Saiyan Ascended Hyper Form. And, sorry about that, guys. This form specifically transcends Deku's power, like, takes all the powers that he's gained from his soldiers and puts it into one big thing. So, like, the Archie hyper form, rings that he's got from Sonic and everything, the buffs that he's got from every other character, pretty much puts him on par with just absolutely everyone, and far above Akuto Sai. Also, since I never said before, it also combines, like, Jin Mori's, like, Unbound state as well, so he kind of looks like that, but he has the tail, but with the, very long hair-esque type of thing. Hold on, let me show that part. So, full-on Boundless, with his ultimate Nirvana, Deku is, like, officially him. Hold on. Can't find the great one that I want to compare it to. You know what? This is as good as it's gonna get. Never mind, guys. I actually did manage to find something better. Now, with Deku's just endless, boundless states, this combines every single continuity and every single timeline of Deku. And that means all the fan-made Dekus I've made so far are combined into this one, just boundless Izuku that we've got here. Hence why the portals are created, and it shows like a different version of Jin Mori. So just imagine different timelines of portals opening up and different versions of Deku coming up, like in spirit and everything. So Deku and Akuto Sai end up fighting, and let's be honest here, it's a complete wash for Deku. He probably didn't even need to go full power for this, but he just wanted to just to give respect to Akuto Sai. And sadly, Akuto Sai is definitely done. There's no way he wins this. So Arise, Akuto Sai is defeated, and that concludes the anime gauntlet. So next gauntlet will be comic books and possibly cartoons. So name some comic book characters like from Marvel or DC that he can go up against. I mean, it's no doubt that he's gonna get Superman as another one of his Shadow Soldiers, obviously. But the one above all, the one below all, that's definitely a must-have for Deku on this case. So I hope you guys really did enjoy this. And if you did, y'all know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below. Peace.
She likes it when I hit, when I tap. Wait, what? Ay, shawty's the same. Now without me, she ain't function. Running out the game, I don't got no time for love. Gotta stick to your lane, I don't wanna hear you bugging.